Alright, so in today's video, we're diving into something that might quietly be one of the most exciting additions Honkai Star Rail has seen in a while. And no, I'm not talking about another limited time event or rerun banner. I'm talking about the rumored new game mode that's coming in version 3.7. It's still early days, and nothing has been officially confirmed by HoYoverse, but the leaks floating around, especially from sources like Sakura Haven and Honkai, are painting a picture that honestly feels way too ambitious to ignore. Save up to 25% on the current banners at lootbar.gg. All you need is your UID and server. The link is in the description. Now, I know what you're thinking. A new mode? Isn't that just another simulated universe reskin? But from what we're seeing, this isn't just simulated universe with new stages. This mode is apparently completely separate, with its own rules, its own systems, and even its own EXP and gold economy. That's a big deal. If it's true, it means you'll level up and earn currency strictly within this mode. Basically like building a second account inside your main one, but focused entirely on strategic gameplay. And speaking of strategy, some leakers are suggesting this might even be the chess mode Honkai teased a while back. Now, I don't think we'll be moving units on a literal chessboard, but the comparison implies a focus on positioning, team synergy, and maybe even round-based tactics. That already sounds like a huge shift from our usual turn-based combat. What really makes this mode stand out, though, is the character-specific treatment. According to Sakura Haven's post, 3 characters in particular, Fei Xiao, Ciele, and My Day, are getting some kind of special handling in this mode. Why those 3? Well, that's the million-credit question. Some people think it's just for testing, others think it might hint at their importance in the meta or narrative going forward. Either way, there's talk of them having completely unique kits or adjusted eidolons. And that's something we don't see often, not even in events. Imagine Seal getting new mechanics that only exist inside this game mode. That's not just a buff, that's a whole redesign, even if temporary. There's also talk of team-specific buffs being added. So if you're the kind of player who enjoys experimenting with team comps, this could open up some really wild possibilities. Think of it like simulated universe blessings, but baked into the characters and their combinations, maybe bringing back underused characters or boosting synergies that don't usually get love in Memory of Chaos. And then there's the total HP rumor. This one's a bit cryptic, but the idea seems to be that either your team or the enemy shares a single health pool. That could totally change how we approach healing, tanking, and burst damage. Picture a situation where def break or resistance penetration suddenly becomes more important than raw crit DMG, just because of how you have to sustain through multiple waves. Also, this mode supposedly has its own equipment and consumables, things like augments, orbs, or maybe even new types of temporary buffs. That makes me think of roguelike systems in games like ZZ's Lost Void, or even how Simulated Universe has curios. It gives the mode a fresh feel where the power creep doesn't bleed into the main game, but still feels rewarding to grind. Now let's talk community reaction. The leaks were shared on Reddit Honkai Star Rail leaks, and the responses were mostly hype. People are especially excited about Seal potentially getting a rework and Fei Xiao being involved so soon after her debut. Some are already comparing this mode to things like Persona's Metaverse or Z's Tactical Dungeons. And honestly, if this ends up being even half as deep as those systems, it could become the new endgame playground we've all been waiting for, especially for people who feel burned out on Memory of Chaos or simulated universe farming. And actually, funny timing, just as I was putting this video together, we got a fresh batch of leaks that gives us way more clarity on how this mode is actually going to work. Like it's not just some sandboxy idea anymore. There's a structure, there's a progression, there are even unlock conditions. So here's the deal. This new mode is going to have 3 trial stages and 1 final boss stage, and you'll need to put together 3 separate teams to clear the trials. Yup, no more leaning on your go-to SEAL hypercarry squad every time. You'll need to think about broader account strength and synergy across different units, which makes things really interesting from a strategy point of view. It's starting to sound like a stress test for your entire box, not just your best-built team. But you don't just get to walk in and start. To even unlock this mode, you'll first need to have full-starred Memory of Chaos, beat difficulty level 4 of Pure Fiction, and also clear difficulty level 4 of Apocalyptic Shadow. And don't worry, this isn't some do-it-all-in-one patch kind of thing. These milestones carry across versions, which is super fair, especially for players who might have taken a break or skipped a patch. Once you've got those cleared, that's when the real challenge begins. Because this final boss stage, it doesn't mess around. From what we know, you'll only get to use 1 team for that fight. And if you want all the rewards, you'll need to zero cycle the boss, which means beating it in 1 complete turn rotation. So this isn't about stalling or brute forcing your way through multiple waves. This is about planning, building, and executing flawlessly. Think burst rotations, skill point control, ultimate timing. Everything has to click. And now here's something that might surprise some of you. There are no stellar jades tied to this mode. So if you were already getting ready to farm it daily, or stress over missing premium currency, relax. The top rewards are going to be limited-time cosmetics, like a special avatar frame, and even an exclusive outfit. Which honestly, that's kinda nice. Sometimes it's cool to have a mode that's all about the flex, where you're not grinding for pulls but showing off your skills. So yeah, this update makes the mode feel a lot more real, and way more endgame than I initially thought. It's not just another event where you steamroll mobs. This is shaping up to be a genuine, high-difficulty challenge built around team-building depth, mechanical execution, and maybe even a bit of account power flexing. If that sounds like your kind of thing, this could be your new obsession. So here's the big question I want to throw out to you. What do you want this mode to be? Do you want deep strategic mechanics? A fun way to power up old units? Or just a break from the grind? And how do you feel about characters like Seal getting special treatment again? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I think this mode might divide people, especially if it favors characters you don't own. Anyway, that's all we've got for now. The info is still developing, so we'll definitely revisit this topic once more details drop, or if we get a teaser in the next live stream. If you want more updates like this, leaks, theories, and breakdowns, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Save up to 25% on the current banners at lootbar.gg. All you need is your UID and server. The link is in the description.